Hello dear students, topic for today is universal law of gravitation. This law was given by Newton and it is useful in studying the motion of planets in the universe. It also helps us to find out the force of attraction between two heavenly bodies. Universal law of gravitation, it says that there exists a force of attraction between any two masses existing in the universe. Any two masses. Let us assume there are two masses. One I will label as m1 and another mass labeled as m2. These two masses are separated by a distance r. Small r is the distance between the two masses. Then there is a force of attraction between the two. Mass m1 is attracting m2 towards itself and m2 is attracting m1 towards itself. What will be the magnitude of this force that was told by Sir Isaac Newton in Universal Law of Gravitation? The formula for finding the force between these two masses is given by G m1 multiplied by m2 upon r square, where F stands for the force of attraction, G stands for gravitational constant, m1 and m2 are the two masses, r is the distance between the two masses. R is the distance between the two masses. F is the force of attraction. G is gravitational constant. This is the magnitude of the force between the two masses. Force is a vector quantity. So the direction of the force, if we consider, here I will label it as F12 and F21. What is F12? F12 is the force existing or the force experienced by m1 due to m2. So the direction of this force is towards m2. Similarly, F21 is force on mass 2 due to mass 1, F21. So the direction will be towards m1 because it is because of m1. So m1 is pulling m2 towards itself. So the direction of force acting on m2 will be towards left hand side. Therefore, we can write F12 is equal to minus F21. The forces will be equal and opposite in magnitude. Now this force is, here one question arises that if this is universal law of gravitation and the two masses can be any two masses which are present in the universe, then why two objects present on the earth, why we do not see a force of attraction between these two? For example, these two chalk pieces, they also exert a force of attraction on each other, but if I leave them freely in air, they will fall down, but they will not attract each other. You will not see them moving towards each other. The reason is here, this factor, the gravitational constant, plays a very important role. So what is this gravitational constant? It is the constant of proportionality used in this formula, and it is universally accepted, and the gravitational constant, it is also called universal gravitational constant. Its value is G is equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square the forces occurring between any two ordinary bodies present on the surface of Earth. Here we can do one calculation and just see that how much is the force between these two chalk pieces, or let us say two footballs. So to calculate that, consider two masses of mass, or you can write two objects of mass 1 kg each, separated by a distance of 1 meter. Let us find how much is the force between these two masses. So F will be equal to G m1 m2 upon r square, where when you substitute the values 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 into 1 kg mass 1 kg mass 2, and distance is 1 meter. So 1 meter square. Here if you want for clarity we can write 1 kg. Then what will be the final answer? It will be 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton. The unit for force will be Newton. Now see this and just try to imagine it, that how much will be 10 power minus 11 Newton. For this I can give you an example to relate it with the amount of force in Newton. So if you hold 100 gram mass on your hand, if you hold, suppose this is weighing 100 gram, and if I hold it in my hand, how much weight of these two objects will be felt by my palm? That will be equal to 1 Newton. So I will experience a force of 1 Newton on my palm if I hold a 100 gram mass on it. So in comparison to this, you see 10 power minus 11 is a very small value. It is almost negligible. That is why you do not see two chalk pieces moving towards each other. And if you want to explain it on the basis of Newton's universal law of gravitation. But in place of these two masses, if you consider two heavenly bodies, let us say one is Earth and other is Moon. In that case, find out how much will be the force between the two. What will be the force of attraction? Let us count. Consider force of attraction for which we require mass of Earth, which is 5.46 into 10 power 26 kg. We require mass of Moon, which is 7.36 into 10 power 22 kg. And we also require the distance between the two. This is 3.84 into 10 power 8 meter. Now with these values, let us find out what is the force of attraction between Earth and Moon. Let us use the formula. Now substitute in place of m1 mass of Earth, in place of m2 mass of Moon, The order of force obtained in this calculation will be 10 power 22 Newton, which is very large as compared to the force of attraction between any two ordinary objects present on the surface of Earth. So this is what we see as a force of gravity between Earth and Moon. Moon is able to revolve around the Earth just because of this force of attraction, which acts as a centripetal force for it to revolve in circular motion around Earth. In next thing is, if one of the two masses, if in universal law of gravitation, it will also help us to find the force of gravity. How much is the force of gravity? Let us see. So in that case, when our formula is F G m1 m2 upon r square, we have to find force of gravity. That means we all of us experience that anything left freely in air falls down to the surface of Earth, because Earth pulls it down towards the center, toward its center. So find out how much is that force which a freely falling object experiences because of the Earth. So that means universal law of gravitation will now be applied between Earth and any other object present on the surface of Earth. One of the masses thus will be mass of Earth. Another mass can be any other mass. So let us say m1 is mass of Earth, which is equal to 5.48 into 10 power 26 kg, and m2 is 1 kg, any mass of 1 kg. Let us find out R. Now here I have written R as radius of Earth. That means if you consider this m1 as Earth and m2 as any other mass, which can be considered at a distance of, let us say, 1 kilometer above the surface of Earth. So how much should we consider the distance between the Earth and this mass here? I have to tell you that this force of attraction, the gravitation force of attraction, is a central force. It has to be considered from the center of the two masses. So if we consider it from the center of Earth, I have to consider the radius of Earth, which is 6.37 into 10 power 6 meter, or you can say it is 6370 kilometer. So in comparison to this 6370 kilometer, this 1 kilometer distance is almost negligible. So if you have to find the force of attraction between Earth and any other mass present on the surface of Earth, then the distance between these two masses should be considered as the radius of Earth. So therefore, here we have to take this R as radius of Earth, and this will be written as 6.37 into 10 power 6 meter. On substituting these values in this formula, you will find that the force comes out to be 9.8 Newton. The force will be, after all calculations, after substituting the value of G, mass of Earth, other mass which is 1 kg, and radius of Earth, you will get this force as 9.8 Newton. And the name of this force is force of gravity. So please understand, here we do not call it gravitational force, it is called force of gravity if one of these two masses is Earth. force, anything, any object left freely in air falls down towards the surface of earth or towards the center of earth, and when it falls it accelerates. When the object falls, since a force is acting on it, it will accelerate. Here we can relate it to Newton's second law of motion, which says that F is equal to ma. So if force is acting on a mass m, the mass will undergo an acceleration of a. So therefore, when earth applies a force of 9.8 Newton on any object, an acceleration is produced, and that acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity. It is denoted by small g and its value is 9.8 meter per second square. This acceleration due to gravity will be different on different planets. It will depend upon mass of the planet and radius of the planet. So let us generate a formula. Let us see how to write a formula which will relate this small g with this capital G. So we are going to do relation between small g and capital G. What is small g here? Small g is acceleration due to gravity. And capital G is gravitational constant. To find the relation, let us use Newton's second law of motion. Which says that F is equal to ma. We can write Fg is equal to m into g, where the force is force of gravity, mass can be any mass under observation, and a is acceleration, so represent it by small g, acceleration due to gravity. Then let this be equation number 1. Then using universal law of gravitation, we can write F is equal to G ME, because now I am finding the force between earth and any other mass, so I will write it as force of gravity, which is equal to G. First mass is mass of earth, so it is written as capital M subscript E, and second is any other mass, which is the same mass which we had considered in our first equation. So it is Fg is equal to G MEM upon. Now what is small r? Small r is the distance between the two masses. Here one mass is earth, so we will consider the distance from the center of earth to the center of the second mass. Since the second mass is a very small object, its volume is very less, so radius can be neglected, and also the distance it is away from the surface of earth, that also is very less as compared to radius of earth. So in place of small r, you will simply write capital RE, that is radius of earth square. Now this is equation number 2. Using equation 1 and 2, we see that left hand sides are equal, so I will equate right hand sides. We will get mg is equal to gmem upon re square. These our final formula for G. This implies G is equal to capital G me upon Re square. Thus, acceleration due to gravity is equal to gravitational constant multiplied by mass of earth divided by radius of earth square. This is acceleration due to gravity. Now you see from the formula, G is dependent upon mass of earth and radius of earth, which is constant for earth. But if you change the planet or if you take a satellite, for example if you take moon, then what will be G? G will be equal to capital G, since it is universal constant, so it will remain G only, but here you will take mass of moon upon the radius of moon square, and you will get one value for acceleration due to gravity on moon. Similarly, if you take Mars, so you have to find here the mass of Mars, radius of Mars, planet Mars, and then you can obtain the acceleration due to gravity on Mars. And we get, if you compare it with that of Earth, acceleration due to gravity on Earth, you will get that gravity on Moon is 1/6 of that of Earth, and on Mars it is 1/3 of that of Earth. And acceleration due to gravity also varies from place to place. It is different on the poles and on the equator. It is maximum at the poles and minimum at the equator. So, depending on this acceleration due to gravity, we can find the difference between mass and weight of an object. You can get difference between mass and weight. Let us see how can we differentiate mass and weight of an object. See, mass, as you know, is the amount of matter present in an object. Definition of mass: it is amount of matter present in an object. Whereas what is weight? It is the force with which Earth pulls an object towards itself. Weight is the force. So whenever you are counting the weight of an object, you will count it as the force with which Earth is pulling it towards itself. So the formula is mg. Formula for calculating weight is mg. Mass of the object multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. Product of the two will give you the weight of an object. Then units, it is measured in kg. By using a physical balance or also beam balance, whereas this is measured in Newton. Since it is a force, it is measured in Newton. Using a spring balance. Using a spring balance. Then the next very important point which we will understand on the basis of acceleration due to gravity, mass is constant from place to place. Mass does not vary. It does not vary. It is constant. It is a constant varies from place to place depending on g. So weight of an object depends upon acceleration due to gravity. It changes if acceleration due to gravity changes, whereas mass is a constant quantity, it does not change. So if an object is weighing, if an object